Welcome everyone to another episode of the Golden Age Spiritual Ministry Live. My name is Sandrine. I am a spiritual teacher and ascension mentor. I founded the Golden Age Spiritual Ministry, which is a non-for-profit here to help humanity remember the truth of their sovereign multidimensionality. I am here to show you how you can reconnect to other aspects of yourselves, aspects that you co-create with on an unconscious level, but that more and more parts of you are calling you to remember how to consciously connect to these aspects, to your family of light, to your soul, spiritual friends, and so much more. So, in this episode today, we are going to answer a question from Sarah. And I chose this question because it brings a lot, right? It talks a lot about different configuration happening in humanity right now and things that I have observed myself extensively. And a lot of people are actually going through this because we are learning to shift from third dimensional consciousness into the fifth dimensional consciousness of the heart. We are learning to move from lower and middle realms to higher realms, which means that we can co-create as sovereign divine beings of the light from our heart portal, from our heart center. So today I'm going to read Sarah's question and we're going to go deep into sharing about this question. So Sarah says, I come from a strict religious background, and for many years I rejected spirituality and God. But that left a void in my heart that I now struggle to fill. I believe I used to see spirits as a child, but I was shamed for it by my parents and my church. I have felt more and more presence around me, and I want to connect and heal my heart. How can I do it? I love this question. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing this with me because I know that a lot of us are going to relate to that. You know, many people were brought up into very religious families, and a lot of people also ask me what my take is on religion. And it's interesting because I don't know if you have observed this, but at the moment there is kind of like a trend happening around the spiritual world where a lot of people convert to Christianity again. And I'm very surprised because as I read these posts, some people say, oh, like, I needed to talk to God. I needed to find Jesus to feel saved and things like that. I'm like, that's so interesting and so bizarre because it is really like moving backwards, right? Because a religion, what are religion? Religions are systems of controls created to enslave population, and they use faith as that. And so the intrinsic nature of a human being is to have faith, is to be connected, because we are not separated. And religions, they really built a construct that made people feel that we are separated. And so religion, all religions, all right, they all say that we are separated from God and that to find God, we must do X, Y, Z. And also, we cannot really talk to God directly everywhere just the way we like. No, we need to go to a specific location, like a church. We need to talk to a priest. We need to convert to that religion. We need to do all of these things to be able to be with God, to be able to find God, to be able to have spiritual wisdom. To be a spiritual person, basically, is to be enslaved in a religion. And I'm sorry, but that's the opposite of freedom, and that's actually the opposite of sovereignty. So, like when people say that they find liberation because they find Jesus. I agree that, like I connect with Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary as ascended masters of the light. They're absolutely extraordinary. But converting to a religion is actually taking a vow that is literally calling a plugging from ancient metric system, third dimensional metric system, into our field. And this plugging is going to hook through many aspects of our multidimensionality and keep us hooked there. And so through this plugging starts enslavement system. So the religion is actually really well constructed, it's a really well constructed field that is present to enslave people, because first of all, we say that we are separated from God, which creates all of the pain and the trauma that humans need to then live in fear. And when people live in fear, what happens when people live in fear? People, therefore, can be easily controlled by saying, oh, if you're scared of this, I've got the solution. So religions are that. Religions are a control system that perpetuate fear by making people believe that they are separated from God, and that the only way to find God is to obey by these rules, and is to talk to these people who supposedly are, like the in-between person between them and God, and these people are supposed to know better. And so this is outrageous. This is outrageous. There is nothing high frequency about that, right? It's literally saying, like, I don't know how to connect to my channel. I don't know how to connect to my heart. And I am so much present into like, looking for answers, that I'm just going to go and ask all of the answers to someone else who's going to tell me how to live my life and what to believe in. This is the opposite of what we do, me and my high council of light. So I was born to help create new templates around this field myself. So as you know, as we enter the golden age, as we are there now, anchoring the new templates of the new earth, many people who come are souled mission. And as soul missions, they come to anchor new templates, for example, around the educational system, around healthcare, around like co-creating with the earth, creating, eco-living communities and things like that. So we all come with certain sets of skills and codes, right? My sets of skills are extensive in the world of spirituality. For thousands of life, I was actually part of many different religions. I was part of so many religions, as well as what we would call more of philosophical systems. So that goes from like being in ancient India for a very long time, like sadhus and all the things, like seers and so on, to being in, like working as witch and healer, through more like Avalon and things like that. I was also nun and priest for a very, very long time, and monks, in ancient Europe. And I was also part of like shamanic traditions. Sorry, it's my dog, a bit excited. I was also part of many shamanic traditions and things like that. So my human has had a lot of experiences on this planet in terms of different spiritual roles in different communities, also in ancient civilizations like Atlantis, Lemuria, ancient Egypt, and so on. And so I have studied that a lot amongst, being in other embodied expression of self, obviously, but I came here to bring a reconfiguration of this system, to show people how to be the embodiment of their multidimensional self, how to connect to their own channel, to create a direct connection with their soul, their oversoul, or their higher self, if you prefer, to have a direct connection with the high council of light, masters of light, like star families, dragons, and so on, to have their direct connection to God, Source, Sophia Christ, whatever we want to call it. So that's what I want to say to Sarah. What she did, and what a lot of people are doing in humanity right now, is deconstructing, is removing these hooks that come from religion, that comes from these systems of control, because we are here to be free. We were born free, and we are here to reclaim that freedom on all levels. So a lot of people that were really, enslaved by religion, all of these people are like, that don't want that any longer. They are looking for something else. And a lot of people first, they reject spirituality altogether, because they believe that if they leave their religion, if they leave their faith, their community and so on, they are rejected, they live in sin or whatever is going on through the mind. And then also, they don't know how to find God. They don't know how to be with that. And that is quite sad, to be honest. So I am here to teach people how to connect with the truth of their divinity, with their sovereign heart. So no matter where you are, no matter what you do, you can always have this connection. You can always feel that you are part of the unified field of consciousness, because guess what? We are not separated. We were never separated. That's a huge lie. Right? That's a lie created for what? Control. For what? For enslavement. So we never were separated. How can we be separated with God is everything? God is everything. God is the field of information, is the infinite quantum. So everything that is present within me and around me is a part of God, is a part of the divine. So it's like it's impossible. It's like it's the law. The law is that we are in the unified field. If we know this, if we embody this or not, that is a different question. That is literally the path that we are on. The path that we are on is here to show us, to teach us, to help us remember how to live in the unified field, how to be that in physicality. This is why we came to Earth, because basically, if we can live this way here, then we can live this way pretty much anywhere. There are also other dark realms out there, but I mean, like life on Earth is pretty intense, right? So if we can find the unified field, if I can be with unity consciousness now, expressing the unique fractal that we are now, it means that we're pretty badass. And you are badass because you're on this path, because you're listening to this show, you're listening to this podcast. Okay? So I want to say to Sarah, it's amazing. Like it's very courageous to step away from enslavement construct for a system of control. It's very courageous. Well done. Well done for putting things into question. Please continue putting things into question through the field of your answering heart. Is this unifying? Is this bringing more freedom, more abundance, more happiness, more joy in my life and in the life of others? Is it elevating the fifth dimensional field of unconditional love? So place questions around this rather than separation templates. All right. So when I look at the question again that I have written here, after people leave their religion, leave the community, of course, there is a feeling of void and a feeling of not knowing, and there can be like more or less rejection of God. It's normal because the space is created for new dynamics, for new expression of the self to blossom. It's like new identities. Like I was watching a movie the other day with my daughter. In the movie, again, like the actors were like, oh, do you believe that someone can change? And we were having this whole conversation. It was like, for fuck's sake, we are here to change. We change continuously. What the hell? Like we are here to evolve. So of course someone can change. And I hope we change. Please, may we change all the time. Reinvent ourselves. Discover more who we are, what we came here to be doing, our unique gift, our soul mission. May we share our light brighter and brighter, perpetually reinventing ourselves to become brighter version of the multidimensional freaking epic light that we are expressing itself in physicality right now. So when there is this void created, and the void can be created through leaving a religion, leaving a group of friends, leaving spiritual practices. I also observe that a lot of people go into like spiritual circles, for example, like modern yogis. That was also my life in this life. I've got like many different qualifications as yoga teachers. I have evolved in that realm for quite some time. And it's surprising to me that also people stay stuck there. This is the path. And you have all of these like Westerners that go and they suppress the embodiment of their divinity, the freedom of expression, the sexual expression, the creativity, the diversity of the multidimensionality, just to try to fit into this outdated system that used to work back in the days, but that does not no longer work because it's also enslaving, right? So we need to deconstruct this. And I know that this transmission is going to shock many people. And please allow yourself to be shocked, because when we allow ourselves to be shocked, it means that we put things into question. We can create void and space between us and our belief system and say, is this serving me at the highest? Because we are not here to confine ourselves through one system. There are also all of the other people that fall into one category or another that is more or less enslaving, and they think like, also like identifying themselves, oh, this is who I am, I was that in a past life, I was that, it's like, oh, not for goodness sake, like, no, you are way bigger than that, because as multidimensional beings, we are multifaceted. Your way of being multifaceted The multifaceted human being that you are is the actual embodiment of your multidimensionality. So the more you can observe all the facets of your human and welcome them unapologetically, the light and the darkness, the fun and the convoluted, the star race like the Arcturian and the Atlantean master, the wolf, the eagle, everything that you are is trying to find an expression in this life. So you are not meant to be stuck in religions. You are not meant to be stuck in kind of ancient rites and practices that were bound to outdated times and realities. Like if you are not aware of this now we are in the freaking golden age. We are rising as the human race. We are here to deconstruct template of enslavement. So we can only do that if we allow ourselves to put things into questions. So you can, of course, question everything that I share as well. I always say in my students, all the teachings that we share with you, in all my offerings, in the Portal program, in Iria School of Channeling, in the Mini Portal, in everything else, I always say to people, be present with your sovereign channel, with your heart, with your column of ascension. Be present with yourself, with your heart. And if what we share gives you this feeling of expansion, then it's a yes. If you feel a yes, then it means that the field of information that we share with you into presenting certain concepts, certain configurations, certain architecture, certain teachings, it means that it aligns with the truth of your divinity. If you understand it consciously or not is irrelevant. If you know that everything is right, if you can prove everything is right or not, that is irrelevant, because this field of information is going to be able to open up libraries of light present within you, and then you will find your own way of explaining things, of explaining your reality, explaining your body, explaining your connection with this incarnation, explaining your mission. So we teach people to stay sovereign being and to become sovereign beings by deconstructing what we are not, which is enslaved victim to a controlling system, may it be religion or financial system or educational system or health system or whatever. We deconstruct that to find a void, of not knowing. And not knowing is wonderful, because not knowing is having the space created so we can experience the infinite quantum, the blackness, the nothing, where all potential resides. When that is present, and when we come with high frequency information such as this transmission now, then the human that you are, then the angel of your human that you are can open herself, himself, or themselves up to receive this new information that is going to act as light bulbs, like aha moment. I have so many of my students experiencing tremendous emotions when they receive our transmissions. It's because of that. It's because these transmissions are such high frequencies, and it's because we don't tell you what to do and who you are and what you can do and what you cannot, and that you live in sin and that you are a fraud and that you cannot do this because you're not capable and that you are separated from God. No, we say the opposite. We remind you that you are a freaking angel. You are master of the light. You're already enlightened. You're already super high vibrational. Only you are learning to be that consciously now. That is what we are doing in the Golden Age Spiritual Ministry. Okay? So if you have felt spirit guides around you all of your life and you have been shamed for it, I'm sorry about that. I know what it can feel like. So many of us have experienced that. And it really shows that as a sovereign divine being of the light, we already are connected to our channel. We already are connected to who we are. We already know, we already connected to our soul family. And as you were shamed around that, of course we closed off these abilities. If no one understood, of course we closed off these abilities because we didn't know how to use them. There was no one who was there to teach you. I experienced that, like no one was there to show me the way. This is why I'm doing what I do now, because I'm here to teach you how to channel, to show you the way to embody your sovereignty and to connect with your multidimensionality and your family of the light. So now there is an invitation for you, Sarah, and everyone else to reclaim your connection to God. to source, to the universe, to your spirit guide, to your soul. Reclaim it like if your life depended on it. Because it does. It does. This is where we push. This is a push in the right direction. Asking, requesting, demanding to have full connection with our heart, to have full connection with our multidimensionality, to have full connection with our higher mind, with our higher consciousness. Ask. Remember the power of prayers. The prayers are simply a conversation between you and a higher power. That is all. That is the prayer. It is you opening up your heart to share words, to ask things, to experience gratitude, to share all your feelings with a higher power, knowing that this higher power is going to be there for you. You're going to feel supported, you're going to feel warm feelings. And the more you ask, the more you're going to receive, and release from your mind the need to have proofs. The proofs are your feeling. The proof is that every day when you wake up and you say your prayers, and you say your prayers at night, and you say your prayers during the day, and you connect to your spirit guide, you connect to your heart, you're going to feel better. That is the proof. That is the proof that you are a divine angel, that you have the capacity to consciously channel not only your soul, but also your spirit guides and also your soul mission. So, as a spiritual ministry, we are here to help recalibrate the traumas that have enslaved humanity for thousands and thousands of years around religious control. Okay, we are here to dismantle that and to create new architecture. This is what we do in this Golden Age spiritual ministry. I am just the human voice of it. Okay, everything that I share is channeled. And I'm walking the path alongside you. Together we rise. Together. And other things that religion don't do. They don't teach that as one people we rise. No, it's always this hierarchy here, this hierarchy there. Blah, 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 blah. No. Freedom, abundance, love, connection, direct connection with ascended masters, reclaiming truth above all. So don't go backwards, go forwards. You go backwards when you say yes to systems of enslavement. Instead, choose mentors, programs that teach about sovereignty, sovereign embodiment, regulation of your body. Choose mentors that embody freedom, that embody joy, connection, abundance. Choose mentors that know how to consciously and precisely co-create with the high council of light, because these ones are pretty next level, because they have access to a field of information that allow them to bring unique libraries of light on the planet, and they show you how to do that yourself. So they don't tell you, I have this access, so you must depend on me to receive this access. No, they say, I have this access, and it means that you also have this access. Through my access point to God, this is what I share. Me, Sandrine, through my access point to source consciousness, we receive a lot of very high frequency. And this high frequency body of work, me and my high council of light, we translate it together for you. And this high frequency codex is here to teach you how to do that yourself. Okay? So you connect with the truth of your own divinity, and it requires practice, it requires devotion, it requires spiritual discipline. So the Golden Age spiritual ministry is a temple of light, a temple of high frequency light, like no other. And it's a temple that exists in the quantum and that I have now anchored in physical reality. For nearly 2.5 years now, it's been there in physicality. So I would love to invite you to join my community. I have many different programs. I offer a lot for free here on YouTube and my podcast, as well as on my website. There is just so much there for you. I have also programs when we go deeper, so you can embody more of your sovereign consciousness with greater ease and also at an accelerated rate, because the way we work is with accelerated evolution, and it's organic, embodied, accelerated evolution. We work with the body and the nervous system. We teach you how to stay sovereign in the midst of chaos, in the midst of change, when you don't know what to think, when you don't know which thoughts to listen to. Is this my spirit guide, or is this my convoluted mind? Is this me, or is this someone else's voice in my head? We teach you how to translate, how to bring discernment in all of that. So I'm here to tell you, go for it. Dismantle enslavement programs within you, religions, and then open yourself up to remembering the truth of your sovereign divinity so you can consciously and actively co-create with your spirit guides and the soul of your mission. Remember to shine bright, my love, angel, because you are a master of the light, and the world is a better place when you shine unapologetically in it, because together we rise as one advanced human race. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next episode. Remember to send me your questions at info@sandrines.com. I will be very happy to answer them in the next episodes of the GASM Live. Bye!